All right, this is a really simple block of the month. You're basically working with 3 techniques, which are strip piecing. So here's everything that starts out for this block. You do flip and stitch, or stitch and flip, I always say it backwards, and half square triangles, and that's all that it takes. So just read the pattern and follow along with me. So this is fabric A, this is fabric C, fabric E, F, G, and H. So the nice thing is the pattern actually says fabric A dark orange, and if you get the kit from me, you're getting fabric that is really, really close to the exact same fabrics that are on the cover of this, and it's dark orange, the medium orange, gold, light orange. We've got here another medium dark orange, so it's a different shade, and then our lilac. Now in the kit from me, your paper you'll have one of these, and it will have the new words instead of what's printed. You'll have the confetti cotton equivalent. Confetti cotton is Riley Blake's basic. So example, a dark orange is it's called Sunset with Riley Blake, but you know it's A, and it actually looks the right color. So hopefully that makes some sense. So I'm going to put my little stickers on these, keep me straight. Although this one is easier than the last one for some reason. I struggled. A, B, C, D. Whoops. Come on, D. That might not stick. E and F. These are by Lori Holt. They're very, very handy. Okay. And now we're going to start cutting strips. Extra, go in my pile. To put the leftovers of this in with block 4. Huh. Ace. I numbered these wrong, lettered them wrong, and I just caught myself. I'm in the middle of cutting, but let me show you what's going on. So this is A, then it goes to C, medium orange. E is our gold, so I need an E. I just meant to go with A, B, C, D. Not right. F is our light orange, which is this one, and I'll take it from here. G is the medium orange, and H is the purple. Now I have it right. edge. It's not this one, it's this one. E. I don't need that anymore. And then the other F is going to go here. And then it's going to go there. Follow the pictures. these are done. Now they're facing me. It's telling me take my purple Lisbons, and they're gonna go on these corners. We're going to take these and these, make 4 half square triangles, 2 out of each set. I can do that. And then we're going, okie dokie. This is why we're tying along in tiny little pieces. I feel like moving on to the stem. I'll come back to that, but I want to do this. This is a finished 1-inch half square triangle. Yes, it's the smallest half square triangle I've ever done. All right, so this goes here. can see, I've been working on both blocks at the same time. Just need to square this one up and finish my stem piece up here. I've just patched all those pieces together. So the trick I want to tell you is these little pieces, press towards the piece that doesn't have any stitching. It wants to go that way anyway. The directions will tell you to do that also. It also gives you the option to overcut these little tiny pieces, and I did that, and I'm glad I did, because it was a lot easier to trim it down because it is so tiny. Okay, so now to have this, let's make this look exactly like this. We've got two pieces of purple, and the long piece here and the short piece here, and the way it works is the longer piece goes on this side. So I want to make sure that, although it looks like it didn't matter because I trimmed it off. Anyway, this little piece has to go between these, and obviously this is not square, and that's okay. So I'm just going to get it on here so it is centered as best as it can be. I always like to sew with the piece as all the stitching up. That way I can make sure things stay flat. And again, press going out. I'll finger press it. It probably won't even let you press it the other way. And do the same thing where you just kind of line it up so this is all straight. And now attach it, and then we'll trim it up. Now let's see, this goes up. I'm not so worried about the up yet because that's the outer edge of the block. It is what goes against our pumpkin that I need to be straight. Okay, and this has not been squared up just yet. Yeah, so my initial block was not too bad. I'm just going to make sure my corners didn't bow too much. That works. That one does not. Cool. That's why I do this. And there we go. Those little pieces are so tiny, they don't want to stay down. So this is my stem, and the way this goes on is you have the U down towards you. And since I've made one, we want to look exactly like that. And because I had to trim it down a little bit, I want to make sure that I'm putting this on, although honestly, they're not going to be right next to each other, and I cannot imagine anybody seeing what they look like. And it looks like the other one. Her instructions say to press everything up this way. I feel like with all of these, it would be hard to press up, but I am struggling with these points. So I went that way on this block. I'm going to do it the right way, or the way she recommended. Excuse me, on this one, because it will probably be the right way, which is just like all the others where we went from the inside and pressed out and up. All right, guys, here are my two pumpkin blocks. This will get worked into the seam, but I am a little short right there. It is okay. But on her instructions, she tells you which way to press. I'm not the best at following pressing instructions. I tend to go for path of least resistance, and for the most part, it matched up with hers. And when I got to this block, the first one that I did, because of all these seams, path of least resistance says press that way, but her instructions said to press this way. And it does not want to lay flat because these corners are not friendly. So when I did this one, I pressed it the way she said, and guess what? It works just fine. So I am going to manipulate this one and make it lay flat like this. So the point is, listen to the pattern designer. I think she has a little more experience in her pattern, or with her pattern. But, no, these came together. This was fun. It's kind of like a log cabin, and it's just going in a circle. It's just a matter of following the pictures. See, she's got really good pictures in here. And this is what I was telling you. Do you want it to be like a U-shaped going around your circle or your middle? And that's how you know what the up is. So just look for things on here to see. And this is our block, and this is the actual finished block. So done. Got 2 of these done. This is block 2 on to block 3. See you in the next video.